Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play Destiny 2. Today we're going to take a look at the Momentum Control new PvP mode they've put in, or rather the Momentum game mode. It's currently only on Control, but we'll get to that. Today we're going to go over it and I'm kind of going to do like a review of how it was. It's no longer active now, but we've been told that it is coming back. It's probably worth doing a kind of review and recap of how I found the game mode. Firstly, we'll go over what it is. It's kind of the opposite of Mayhem. So weapon damage is greatly increased. Your ability to recharge is based on your weapon kills. So you need to charge your super, for instance, you need to get kills with your weapons to do so. There is no radar, which is actually huge. I didn't think that would be as big as it was until I was actually running around without a radar and I realized how much I was looking to the top left of my screen to see my radar that wasn't there. Although I got used to it not being there fairly quickly. Supers, when you're using your super, if you get a kill, it will heal you. And you take the most damage from heavy weapons, so you essentially need to be killed by heavy weapons for the most part. And thus far, as I said, it's only ever been on Control. Although I assume, as with Mayhem, it's probably planned to be on Clash and Rumble as well, it's just that it hasn't been yet. So first we'll go into the parts I really like about it. So firstly, it makes some weapons really viable that aren't normally viable in, like, normal Crucible, which is really cool. So you can get some loadouts that you just don't see in regular Crucible. There's far less hand cannons in there, for starters. Shotguns are pretty much non-existent. And much like Mayhem, it's very fast, so the game mode respawns you much quicker, all that kind of stuff. It's incredibly useful for doing your pinnacle weapons, particularly Mountaintop and Randy's throwing knife. Both of those in particular. You'll see everybody running around with grenade launchers and everybody running around with scout rifles. One, scout rifles are very good, is a reason for that, but two, people are farming Randy's. And no radar makes flanking a viable strategy, which is something that I've never really considered in Destiny PvP before, because the radar makes it pointless. Like, you try and flank a team, they're just going to see you on the radar, turn around and shoot you. But now you can have one person run around all the way to the back and just melee a team to death as you just work your way forward through them. It's quite cool. Which is something you can't do if you've got the radar, it's just impossible, so I really like that aspect of it. Now for some of the stuff that I didn't like so much. As I said before, it does make some weapons more viable, but there's still a clear meta, and that meta is scout rifles. Because scout rifles will do a one-tap on a precision hit, so if you hit them in the head, they die in one shot. Sniper rifles also use quite a bit, that's a one-tap on a body shot, but obviously you have less ammo, because green ammo is a lot harder to come by. So you've got scout rifles doing one-shots, so you've got primary weapon ammos that are one-shotting people. I like that, because I like the way that it kind of shifts the game around. The problem with that is, as I said, it makes some weapons more viable than aren't usually viable, but it still pushes you into a very specific meta that you kind of just have to play. You can get away with using, like, lots of other weapons, but clearly the best thing to do is to crouch behind a corner, walk around the corner, shoot someone with a scout rifle. That's what the meta has turned into, essentially. Which, again, very useful for Randy's throwing knife, and possibly it's as prevalent as it is because of Randy's throwing knife quest. Hard to say, but I think it's just because scout rifles are as good as they are. It is worth noting that towards the end of the Momentum Control, I did see some people using trace rifles as well, and seeming to be doing fairly well with them. Which is interesting, because I didn't try out a trace rifle, so I don't know how good they are, but I did see quite a few people using them towards the end, which is interesting. Now, this one is more of a personal thing, but I feel like the game mode would benefit from having no abilities at all, or at the very least no supers at all, and focus strictly on the gunplay, because the game seems to be pushing for, like, a gunplay-focused match. But at the same time, like, people will use their supers, and their supers are incredibly powerful because you heal after every kill. So, supers are actually kind of buffed in this game mode, which is weird, because I feel like the game mode is trying to push gunplay, but then if you get enough kills with your gunplay, you use your super is way more powerful than it usually is. I think what they're trying to go for there is they're trying to make it so, because heavy is so much more useful for killing supers, they're trying to push people into using heavy as well as using their primary and secondary. But the problem with that is, it seems weird to me, it's counterintuitive. I think they should just get rid of supers entirely in the game mode. That would actually probably make it better, I think. Yeah, it's just weird to me that in a game mode that's trying to push gunplay, the supers are way more powerful. It's strange. Also, one thing that is kind of annoying is the fact that it's on Control, but nobody captures. Like, it's quite often you will see a game where half your team has 0 captures. Like, 3/4 of your team has 0 captures. And there's one guy who's running around capturing everything. I think this could be to do with the quests as well, though. I don't want to give it all onto the fact that it's the game mode. I think a lot of the people, because everyone's pushing for Randy's, they just want kills. Like, they don't care about anything else. Because I think, like, Randy's is, like, at base, if you don't get any of the multi-kill bonuses, it's like 4,500 kills or something. It's ridiculous. I mean, that goes down when you get multi-kills, because it's like a multiplier for getting multi-kills, but at the same time, it's a stupid amount of kills, so people are focusing that more than doing the actual control, and not playing the objective. Having said that, I guess that is kind of a problem in regular control as well, but it seems particularly noticeable here. So in conclusion, I really like it. The game mode is really, really fun, and I hope it returns, although I think there's probably a few tweaks that should and probably will do to it if I were to guess. It seems to be much better on Rumble, since no one's capturing any points anyway. Having said that, I feel like if it can just run on anything the same way that Mayhem does, I'd be fine with that. Similar to Mayhem and like Scorched, it feels like more of a gimmicky, fun, less serious kind of game mode, which is really, really nice. I enjoy that kind of aspect of the PvP where you can kind of go in and you can come out of playing 10 matches and you don't feel frustrated. Just because of the way the game kind of works, it doesn't really make you feel in it, you know what I mean? It's kind of just like a gimmicky thing that you're playing on the side for fun and not for any real particular reason outside that. It's incredibly useful for pinnacle weapons. Randy's throwing knife, very hard to do otherwise. Mountaintop, same thing. It's just really, really useful for getting those pinnacle weapons done. Although, somewhat ironically, I think the game mode would be better if people weren't farming for those pinnacles. I think it would actually kind of level out the meta a bit, which is interesting, because on both sides there, it's really good for getting pinnacle weapons. I wish no one was getting pinnacle weapons. But all in all, I think it was a good addition to PvP rotation, and I do hope it returns, even if it's like a slightly tweaked fashion. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye, guys.